Hello, lovely people. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. It's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitch, and it's time for another episode of We're in Burda, wherein I talk about the current Burda that I am browsing through, considering, conceptualizing, having cogitations about, and it's generally taking up my mental space. Because I love Burda. I have a lot of Burdas in my collection, and I'm constantly, going through my collection. So for this week, we have Burda 9 2014. So the reason why I'm looking at Burda 9 2014, which is definitely one of it's in the top 10, possibly top 5, because when I was browsing through it, I actually realized that I have made several items from this issue, and that I actually traced out quite a lot of items with plans to make more from it. So yeah, definitely a top 10, top 5 issue. But the main reason why I was looking at it was because I'm looking for Dirndl patterns. There is a fabric that I'm absolutely certain wants to be a Dirndl. It's a denim fabric with a beautiful embroidery selvage. And so I had this idea that it would look lovely as a Dirndl. And Burda being a German sewing publication, catering to some people who live in Bavaria, the region of Germany where I believe Oktoberfest is celebrated. I've been to Munich during Oktoberfest, and it was just wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. We got to spend time in, I think it was called the beer garden, and we had waiters in lederhosen and waitresses wearing the Dirndls as well. It was just absolutely fantastic. And we had a really fabulous time. I was about 3 months pregnant with the twins, and I couldn't drink any of the beer, apart from the fact that I generally don't drink alcohol anyway, but I couldn't even sip it to try it or anything like that. But we had such a fantastic time when we were in Munich during Oktoberfest. But yeah, so then I remembered that these Burdas that I have, normally the September or the October issue, tended to have the Dirndl patterns. Not so much over the last couple of years, though. I'm not sure what's going on there. They had a Dirndl, I think, 2 years ago, but it was for the girls, for children's patterns, but not so much. So there were two major ones. One was the 9/2016, I think. Yeah, I think one of them was the 9/2016, but that one had super traditional looking Dirndls. And this one has got a more contemporary looking Dirndl, which is more suitable for the fabric that I have, I think. So enough chit chat about why I'm actually in this particular Burda at the moment. And I'm going to show you some of the patterns out of this issue, the ones that I made as well, and the ones that I absolutely loved and traced and somehow got lost in the maze that is my sewing plans to do with Burda. I have the cover dress traced out because I really liked the styling on this dress, especially with the gingham cut on a bias. I thought that looked beautiful. Here are all of the styles at a glance. So this is an English issue from back in the day when I used to get the English. It also has a wonderful bomber jacket for men's patterns here, although the model is looking at her as if he's like, what, seriously, what are you saying? And she's like, I've unbuttoned my 2 top buttons. A rocker chic, biker chic thing with PVC collars. Very interesting. A fantastic looking sheath dress, and it's got these really lovely pockets that are by the hip. I find these pockets to be fun to use. This is another pattern that I traced out. Can you guess why? It's got raglan sleeves. Raglan sleeves. I actually made this top, this cap sleeve top. Loved it, but I missed the neckline, and it was one of the first things that I had to actually throw out because I had totally messed it up. I traced out the pattern for this skirt. I also made this jumper here. I made it in a gray fabric, and it's quite a good design. As you can see, it's got a super wide neckline, which doesn't actually have a neckband, and when I made it, I felt that it probably would have been better if it had had a neckband. But I didn't use French terry. I think French terry would have worked beautifully with this one, but I'm reminded that I have this, and I'm kind of thinking I should make that. One of the best jacket sewing patterns that I've seen in a Burda. I love this. It's the right oversized look with the hoodie, and the gigantic pockets. Okay, so this is a section which is very reminiscent of the Sound of Music. You know, the hills are alive with the sound of music. So this is the women's dirndl, and there's a girls' dirndl pattern, and there's the boys' lederhosen over there. And there's also the jacket. So that's the line drawing for the dirndl with the cute little cap sleeves and the princess seam lines. And then it's also got an apron. What I like about this issue is the fact that you also have a very simple pattern for the blouse that you can wear underneath the dirndl over here. And separately, even though that this is a dirndl pattern, you could easily make this into a school uniform. In fact, I'm probably going to use this to make school uniforms for my girls in a red gingham. How cute and adorable are these. Oh, absolutely cute. And a lovely little quilted jacket. You can make this using quilting cotton. This has got a very 50s vibe to it because we've got the sheath dress underneath, and then we've got an overskirt with a corseting that goes over it to create the volume. So this is the contemporary look for the dirndl. So it's the same pattern, but they've used a contrast in fabric, and I think that this could work with my embroidered denim. So I can imagine doing the embroidered flowery bit over here and on the sleeves, and then just doing the plain denim over here, and I think that it could look fabulous. So the other version is this one, where it's the sheath dress, and then you make the overskirt. So I could make the sheath dress just in the blue denim, and I make the overskirt using the floral selvage edge. So this gave me a lot of ideas. And I also like this one. I'm sort of going to be on the lookout for this sort of fabric because I do like this look over here. And there's another option as well for using the same dirndl type pattern. So this is why I was saying that this is more contemporary. That's that jumper again. Contrast. I love that. Love it. It's a very romantic dress and feel to it, right down to the abstract floral print that they have used in the floral chiffon to do the uber feminine sleeve flouncy frill. I remember loving this jacket, and this is the featured sewing pattern, which is really awesome because Burda rarely caters to the advanced seamstress, and this is a super advanced jacket pattern. The raglan sleeve top has been made into a dress, and this is another one of those that I actually traced out wanting to make, and I got myself stuck in this cycle of wanting to find the exact perfect fabric for it that resembled this one. I've now learned to let go of the idea of trying to find fabric that resembles exactly what I loved in the magazine. I like how they've used the same pattern for the dirndl blouse, for the blouse to wear with the dirndl, but it's been made in a chiffon, and it's been made with this skirt, which is something else that I considered making, but I would have shortened it because I don't like it trailing the floor like it does here. If you're in the market for a little black dress, so this is the featured sewing lesson in this issue, and this is a relatively complex jacket to make, and I do like that they've given something for the advanced seamstress in this. And I think that this is a fabulous pattern. This was on my want to make list. Let me show you the line drawing for it. So it's like an overlong dress with some drawstring waist detail, a half placket, and a hoodie. And it's actually made, you could make this using a cotton poplin or a cotton woven, and I just thought it's fantastic. So there's that skirt again, but I think it's problematic because it sort of trails the floor. I would just sort of like shorten it. That jacket again, this time it's been made in gray, and it just looks fabulous. I think that this would be a long-term make, but a very useful and practical thing. Skirt, simplified with a sort of like the curved side seam detail. I remember really, really wanting to make this blazer. This is such a beautiful blazer. I've seen how people have interpreted this, and it's fantastic. And I like the fact that the buttons are concealed. Still want to make this blazer. That dress again, you can see more detail in it because we've got it in grey chambray here. Fantastic. For the longest time, I thought that this was a knitting pattern, but it actually isn't. It's a sort of fabric that they have used. But yeah, I think this would only work if you had something that's got stripes. And this dress, I remember wanting to make this dress so bad, and I got stuck in analysis paralysis and trying to find the perfect fabric to make it in. And I traced this out. This is something else that I traced out, but I think that this is just so cute. And possibly the most amazing, intricate cardigan pattern that Burda has to offer. Look at all of that. But fabulous. Drapey top with a side flounce over there and some ruching. Really nice. This has got a decent plus size section. What a great use of a studded trim over here and over there, and great mixing of fabrics with the pleats and that fabric over there. And oh my days, how amazing is this dress? Look at the line drawing. Princess seam lines, they're always fantastic for getting a good fit. And you know, they've used black and white but different prints, and I just think that that looks fabulous. It's really beautiful. And I can't remember where I've seen this skirt. There's definitely an issue that has this skirt as well, but great use of contrasting fabrics. I'm not a big fan of these sorts of trousers that give you more baggage around here, but I guess for some people they may work. But yeah. And here we go. That's the last one. So for me, this issue actually has a lot of patterns that I like, that I'm interested in, that I have traced out. And as I was looking for the Dirndl pattern, I had forgotten about the fact that I, traced out some of these patterns and that one. And I made this, and I had plans on making another one of this top as well. So yeah, so this is the one that I want to be making, probably with the cap sleeves or without the cap sleeves. We're gonna see how we get on. It's either gonna be this one or it's gonna be this one that has got the overskirt, but we'll have to see. But it's got some really great jacket patterns. In terms of jackets, you've got that banging one, the banging blazer, and you've got the banging jackets. It's an ace issue. So that's where I'm at with Burda at the moment. I'm in Burda 9 2014 over here. And the idea is I have to make a decision about this within the next couple of days and trace the pattern out and get started on it. If you know of any Dirndl patterns, that it doesn't have to be Burda, do let me know in the comments box down below. I am still exploring and quite enjoying learning a lot more about the detail that's involved in making Dirndls, and it's particularly the traditional ones. They seem to use a lot of traditional techniques with the smoking and making the aprons with fancy textures. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. But yeah, so this is Burda 9 2014. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you found the video useful, entertaining, informative, and if you did, do give it a big thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, do subscribe. I put out sewing related content every single week. Take care now, guys. Bye.